Bear with me just a second. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Shel Anderson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I'd like to welcome you to today's edition of Stamp with Shel. Today we are going to be playing with the Season of Chic bundle. This is found in the annual catalog, and we are going to be making a fun fold, and we're going to be using a couple of techniques as well. So we're going to get started, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some embossing. I have the large snowflake image, and I'm going to stamp it and emboss it in a couple of different ways to see which one I like better. I thought I was just going to do it one way, and I thought, well, if I don't like it, I might as well do it all at once, and that way we will have two choices. So the first thing I am going to do is, I forgot one thing, I am going to grab my white embossing powder. Maybe. I don't know what I did with it. There we go. All right. I have white embossing powder, Versamark, and heat and stick powder. Okay, so you just watched me go over my cardstock with the embossing buddy so that removes all the oils and static from the paper, so that our embossing powders are going to stick only where we want them to stick. I'm just going to do these one at a time. First one, I am stamping the image in Versamark. I put the lid on that for a minute so it doesn't dry out. And then I am going to add white embossing powder to that. Flick off the excess. Pardon me, grab my heat tool, and I am going to heat this up and melt the embossing powder. It's going to take a couple of seconds here because this heating tool is not hot. It takes it a while to heat up. I like doing it from the back and the front side of the paper to heat it up and keep the paper from warping. It is starting to go now. I see it starting. And you'll know it's done when it's all bright white and shiny. And that all looks good to me. So we'll turn off that noisy tool for a minute. Or we'll drop it on the floor. Hopefully I didn't break it. Or we'll only have one choice. All right, there goes the white embossing powder out of the way. Now we're going to do the exact same thing again on this piece. And we are going to stamp with Versamark. Like so. Then we are going to grab our heat and stick powder, and we are going to cover with the heat and stick powder. There we go. All right, so it looks very, very similar to the white embossing powder, but it is not. It is going to heat up and be sticky so that I can put glitter on it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. Heat this up.
And you'll notice that this one just goes clear when it's heated.
And we're going to put the glitter on, tap off the excess, and I might need a little paintbrush here. Let me find it. What did I do with it? Bear with me just a second. Oh, I found it. It's hiding. Now you'll see that glitter has gone around the outside there, but I think it's going to be okay. I think after we heat this, it will just brush off. Let's try it.
So what this does is it reheats that heat and stick powder so that glitter will stick in there. All right, let me set this over here on the table so it doesn't land on the floor again. And let's see if I can go off camera here and brush off the excess. Yes, that's exactly what happened. You can see now the snowflake very clearly. All right, I'm going to close this up so I don't have a disaster. All right, I am going to lift this paper up because it's covered in embossing powder and glitter, and so is my table. I'll just take this wipe, get any of the excess, and we should be good. All right, now we have 2 snowflakes, and I am going to die cut them with a circle die. And this is from the Stylish Shapes Styles. All right, so just going to center it in the middle and run it through. And then I'm going to use this as an embellishment on our card, and we'll be able to decide which one we like better once we get the card made. Options are always good. I'm guessing I'm going to like the white one better, but we'll see. There we have it. All right, while I have this die cutting machine out, I am going to cut one more circle, and this is in the soft succulent. And this is the smaller circle. We're going to use that for our greeting. All right, I think that's it for die cutting. So we can put this away. And we can bring in our bits and pieces and get started on our card. We'll start with our card base, and it is 5.5 by 11. Now we are going to score this at 1 1/4. Let's get that cutter out of the way. We don't need that disaster. All right, 1 1/4, 5.5, and we've got to open this arm up, 9 1/4. All right, that's all our scoring. We'll grab a bone folder, we'll fold it in half, Now, the easiest way for me to tell you this, one of these scores is narrow and one is wider. The wider one is going to go towards the back. Okay? So the narrow one folds into your card. And the wider one folds back. I was second guessing myself there for a moment. So this is what your card is going to look like. This one goes in, this is your center line, folds like a normal card, and that's how it's going to go. Okay, now we are going to pay very good attention to these folds because we want them to be nice and flat. So I'm scored them and I'm folding them as flat as I can, okay? All right, now I have a piece of the coordinating DSP for the Season of Chic bundle, and I am going to layer that DSP on a piece of Evening Evergreen. And it's just going to have a wee little border around all edges. And then we're going to attach this right here. Just center that up and match your borders all the way around. So there's our snowflake paper. All right, now we're going to open this up. And for the inside panel, I have a piece of basic white. But I had this little strip of DSP left. So I thought we could use this to pretty up the inside. So I'm just going to add this wee little strip. I'm going to leave just a little maybe I am and get it to do what I want it to do. There we go. Leave a little white border there and we'll just trim off the excess. And then we're going to attach this to the inside panel of our card. Just like, oops, oh no, I put it on the wrong side. I wonder if I can get that glue off there. We will let it dry, and then I will take my glue eraser to it. Heavens. All right, while that's drying, we will bring in these two strips of Evening Evergreen and these two strips of DSP, and we will put these together. Well, sir, I'm batting 1,000 today, aren't I? There's just going to be a wee little border once again. Up all that goofy glue and wipe my hands off. All right, now I have this pretty polka dot one just to have a little contrast. Same thing. There we go. Now, this one we are going to put on the inside of this flap and just center it on that panel. And then this one we're going to put on the outside of the flap.
and center that on the panel. All right, now I need to get my glue eraser and get rid of that glue. And I put it on the wrong panel. I don't think it's quite dry enough yet. We'll work on it. I think it'll take it off and you'll never know it was there. If not, we can just put a piece of DSP on there, not a problem. Now to remove the glue, but there is a scratch mark there that I can't get up. So I probably will end up putting a panel there. Now, on the outside, what did I do with it? On the outside, I had a piece. Did I drop it? Well. Let me maybe I didn't cut it. All right. On the outside, I need one at 1 3/8. 1 3/8 by 5 1/8. Oops. And then I'm going to need some evening evergreen. That is 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. Just 1/8 of an inch larger than the DSP. And we will get this one layered up. And centered on that panel. There we go. All right. Now this one is going to go on that larger flap right here. Perfect. So now this is how our card opens. I think I'm going to cut a piece to put over here where I made that mess. Not what I intended, but this is going to be 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. I don't think this one's big enough. We can make it do. 3. No. I'm going to cut another piece. 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. We're going to do it. We might as well do it right? And it's good that that polka dot will work on the inside. So all the inside will be coordinated. So this card is not supposed to have DSP here, but I messed up. All right, there's our card. Now we're going to do a belly band. So what I want to do is I want to take this piece of evening evergreen and I'm going to cut this to 5 1/2. It is 5 1/2. So I don't have to cut anything. And I'm going to glue this in the center of the front of this belly band. This is going to just give a little bit of contrast and interest. Now, if you wanted to do this with ribbon or with DSP, you could do that too. All right, so the secret to belly bands is center your belly band over the front and fold one edge over, okay? You do not want your belly band tight. So what I do is I slide, once I have my first fold for the belly band, I put it tight on the card on the edge and then I slide it. You see that? So that there's room for this to move. You don't want it too tight. And then I just simply fold this one around. Okay. Turn it over and line it up. And now all we have to do is glue it together. And what I do is a little glue on this end, a little glue on this end, and fold them together. And just give that a minute and you'll be golden. All right, now we need a greeting. And I chose I'm Here For You. And I am going to use, excuse my squeaky chair, I'm going to use Evening Evergreen for my ink color. And I'm going to stamp this greeting right in the middle of my greeting circle. That's pretty simple. Now we will put our belly band on our card. It slides nicely because we didn't make it too tight. Now's the time we have to decide if we want the glittery snowflake or if we want the white one. And I'm thinking I want the white one, so we'll save the glittery one for another day. And we need some dimensionals. So I'm going to put a little dot of glue right here because I want these two to overlap. All right, so it's still not attached or anything. And I'm going to run, dimensionals across here. Let's see how far I can go. One more. There we go. Now we're going to take off all those backings. Maybe. And we'll just pop this in place. Like so. Now, we have enough room on here. I'm going to try something. I don't know if I'm going to like this. Never done this before, so I'm going to try tying a bow on here. We will see what happens. right, not too shabby. I zhuzh it up a little bit. Grab some ribbon scissors. What do you think of that? I think it needs a little blinga. Let's bring in some rhinestones. And we'll see what we can do. I'm going to put a nice one right there. And one more. Maybe, if I can get it picked up. Chase it around like a crazy woman. There you go. What do you think of that? A rhinestone with no glue doll on it. All right, let's get rid of all this garbage so we can have a look. Here is our sparkly. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rhinestones on there. And I really like that little bow. So if we take this off and ta-da! And I just put this one as a support card. It says, I'm here for you. Kind of liked that. All right. That's that card. Now, as promised, I haven't even got it together. I better get it together here. Another one that I made earlier. And this one, instead of using the snowflakes, I used the flowers from this Season of Chic set. And for this one, instead of using the DSP, I put gold ribbon around. And this one just has a little knot here. And it says, wishing you the best birthday ever. And it's done in the pink and the gray granite. And opens like that. So there is our 2 cards for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you back here soon. I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Standard Time, and I'm here Wednesday nights for Facebook Live at 6:30. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.